Brenda Mullard and welcome to My Arts and Soul. Today what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about the element of design called line. Now line is one of the most basic elements but yet very, very important. It's seen everywhere in all artwork. So when we talk about line, basically it's a series of marks or points. So when you draw a line, you're just connecting those points to make a line basically. And there's various kinds of lines, and each line has a different feeling to it, has kind of a different meaning to it. So when we use different kinds of lines, so for example, vertical lines, the straight up and down lines, are meant to be strong lines, powerful lines. They are sturdy lines. So if you think about a skyscraper, skyscrapers are vertical, straight up and down line, when you look at them. They're meant to be strong. You've got horizontal lines. Horizontal lines are, those lines of across from side to side. So when you go to bed at night or you lay down on the ground, you're resting, horizontal lines are a tranquil line. They're meant to be tranquil. And then you have your diagonal lines. Now diagonal lines are energy lines. Those have action. So any line that goes diagonal is kind of used to give that feeling of action and a lot of movement and excitement. So when we talk about line, you're going to see in your worksheet as you go along, you're going to use various kinds of lines. Now what I want you to do is I want you to play around with thick lines, thin lines, diagonal lines, vertical lines, horizontal lines, straight lines, curvy lines. Come up with your own lines to do in each of the boxes. Now when you do your worksheet is meant for you to play around with ideas, okay? If you kind of get stuck or you have a square that you don't like or that you designed and it's not your favorite, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. You don't have to use it later on in your final design. But what I want you to do is just to kind of start to brainstorm and get some ideas kind of going and get them on paper, because that's the easiest way to get those ideas out. So you're going to have your line and pattern practice sheet. And when we talk about pattern, basically what a pattern is that it's a repeating line, it's a repeating shape, color, etc. Okay? And you want repetition, obviously, with pattern. So you are going to repeat those lines and designs over and over again throughout the square. Now, for example, with mine, my very first one did it very simple. I kept it very simple. I did I did vertical lines up and down. I used thick and thin. Now when I drew my lines, I used a ruler, okay? It's your choice to keep it straight if you're kind of a stickler on straight lines. If I'm going to do a vertical line, I'm going to do a vertical line. So I want to make sure that I use a ruler, but not everybody's the same, and if you choose not to use a ruler, that's fine too. My next one, I went with curvy, I went with a diagonal, thick and thin. I did a radial design, which kind of starts in the middle and radiates out to the sides of the square, doing kind of like a circle type pattern with curved lines. So your line design is going to be totally up to you, and how you choose to do it, there's no right or wrong way. There's no right or wrong way to do this assignment. So what I would like you to do is to copy off your line and pattern sheet, start practicing, and let's get some ideas posted. When you get finished with your worksheet, let's post those ideas and see what everybody's up to. So thanks. Have a great time doing this. It's supposed to be fun, relax, and enjoy yourself. So now let's head over to the table. Let's start working on our examples, and I will show you exactly what to do. So the supplies you'll need are your worksheet that you need to have printed off, and then also, if you plan on using straight lines, I suggest a ruler, also a pencil, and then some sort of pen, either a thin Sharpie marker or a ballpoint pen that rolls very, very easily. So some people like to do their drawing initially with pencil and then go over it with pen once they're finished. Some people just like to jump right into it with the pen itself. So You know, if you feel comfortable jumping right in with your Sharpie or your pen, I say do it. If not, do with pencil first very lightly, and then go back over it with the pen, and then you can go back and erase your lines. So when you start your design, you are going to want to choose, you know, the design you want to use, but then start just drawing it in and kind of think about, you know, this is your time to play and kind of have fun and go through thin line, thick line, pattern, repetition, shape, you know, so you can go in and you can make this however you want it, and it's up to you, and there's no right or wrong way to do it, which is really awesome. It took me a very long time to understand that in art. You know, there are rules, but there aren't rules, and so sometimes ignorance is bliss, and if you don't know all the rules and you break some of the rules without knowing it, sometimes it's kind of a better way to do things. So as you can see, I've kind of got some wavy vertical lines. And, you know, I have the line in there, and now what I may go in, you know, I can go in and add other lines to it. And I can do this however I want. And I'm going to go on and I'm going to fill up all of my squares with all different patterns, lines, thick, thin, however I want to do it. Okay? So that is what you will be doing. That is your first practice assignment, is to print off your sheet for the line and pattern practice, practice, practice. Go through each one of those squares, add a different design of your choice. If you, like I said before, if you don't like it, you're not married to it, it's fine. Just print off another sheet, or go on the back, draw yourself another square, and do some more patterns. It's supposed to be fun. You're just supposed to relax, enjoy just the drawing part of it, and coming up with new patterns and lines. So enjoy yourself, take your time, have fun. We'll see you soon.